things, nuances that I need to work on in order to teach people better techniques. So me having you guys jog around with your guns in your hands is not because, the only reason I'm doing that is to get you guys more comfortable with your equipment. Every time that you move out to the right side of the field, your gun should be in your right hand. Every time you move out to the left side of the field, your gun should be in your left hand. It should just be commonality, second nature, right? So that way when you guys line up on the box and do all these little things that you don't even think about, you don't have to fumble around with your equipment. So when I have you guys running out that way and I say switch hands, and you guys are like, why would I run with my gun in my left hand ever? You know, it's just not comfortable because you're probably all right-handed. The majority of you guys should be. So just switching hands like that and getting comfortable and teaching yourself these things that are uncomfortable is going to help you in the long run, right? And that's the same thing as picking on you for your tank. Where'd you go? There you are. Rob. You know, so like, and I saw someone else who's got like a peanut bottle too. But you got to get comfortable with things, and you got to break the bad habits in order to kind of push yourself past the boundaries of where you're at right now. And that's what practice is all about. That's what we're going to do here, is kind of work on the shit that you're uncomfortable with. If you don't like playing the snake, tough shit. You're going to have to get in there a couple times this weekend. You're going to be in there. It's going to suck maybe, but you're going to get over that uncomfortable feeling, right? And there's plenty of places on the field that everybody has that I guess feeling, right? I don't like personally playing the snake. I don't like playing the middle, actually. That's not where I play, but look at that. I played in the World Cup and it worked out really well. So you just gotta throw yourself into those spots, and maybe you're gonna find out like, damn, I'm pretty good at this. And you never really knew because you just weren't comfortable with even going over there, right? So that's what the practice is all about. And then we'll just kind of work on things from there. So everybody, real quick, you're just gonna throw your gun left hand to right hand. Toss it from left hand to right hand. Just get comfortable with your equipment. I was doing this one time and some kid goes, well, what happens if you drop your gun? I go, why would I drop my gun? First of all, you know, like, it's not as hard as you think just to toss it from one hand to the other. And switching hands though is really uncomfortable for a lot of people. You fumble around, right? So you just need to be really comfortable with your equipment. I know a lot of people kind of stand in the mirror, they'll like pull the trigger. All right guys, guns down. They'll pull the triggers. You gotta get that feeling. You gotta get comfortable and fluid with your equipment. We're gonna do small arm circles here. All right. So there's 3 teams, Bronx Legends and 2 low gravity teams? Yeah. All right, switch sides, switch directions. Really get these arms. And then what are the divisions? D5, D4, D4, 5, and 6? Yeah, but D6? Pretty much. 3 and 4. All right, right arm underneath the left arm. Pull it across. I was telling Jeff on the way up here, when I started, it was rookie. Here's a PKI login. So Kyle Sticka has a drill where you're literally just doing this, right? Everybody should be able to do this.
That's different.
Yeah, I wish you were here when Frank the Tank was here.
Frank Connell?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, Frank Connell trying to do this is, yeah, right. Drill at pretty much every clinic the last 20 years that I've taught. It's one of my more favorite, more common drills, and the reason for that is kind of encompasses a little bit of everything that you need to do in paintball, just on a smaller scale. Also, we're going to be doing adding building blocks to every skill set that we do, in that we'll start small, right? So instead of throwing you guys into a 5-on-5 and me trying to watch 10 guys, see if you're holding your gun right, and shooting and talking and doing all of the things on the checklist, it's just too much to watch, right? And too much for me to ask you guys to have everybody come together all at the same time. This is a drill that we would start with Dynasty when we go and have our first practice coming up pretty soon. We run these 2-on-2s. It's also a great way to learn the bunker names and everything. The way it works is we're just gonna play it. We're gonna play it at first on the Dorito side only and just kind of see how that stupid brick works. And I might move it over here to.
I can't wait to leave this town, cause lately I've been feeling down. The cold nights just don't feel the same. Oh, like my life inside a car. Hit the button, drive real far. Put that record on me, die. I'm dreaming of you. I dream of a new night. to see me now, 'cause lately you've been feeling down. You lay awake alone at night. Oh, like your life inside a car. Forget the world and drive real far. Put that record on again. Oh, my love is you and I. Close, close, and cool like this fire.
We all know that. Like, I'm just gonna figure it out myself. But unfortunately, in paintball, like, that's a very selfish and very difficult task to complete if you're trying to do everything by yourself. Because there's no one variable. There's no one ball that we have to, like, someone can just keep and fucking keep slam dunking or pass, you know, like whatever it is. You have to incorporate everybody. So with that being said, the other team oftentimes might figure out how to solve the problem before you guys do. Outside of the realm of luck. So this drill that we're gonna do is mainly a gunfighting drill, but also it's a kind of a drill to get everybody in a conversation of like, hey, let's fucking go, right? The objective is going to be to get to the other team's snake 1, and then you win. I'm gonna call this snake 1, sorry, so snake 2, so this will be the snake 1. We're only gonna be able to play the corner, this cake, snake 1, the 50 snake, and the other team's snake. As soon as you get to the other team's snake, it's game over. And it's a 2-on-2. But the way that it works is, and so it's a big gunfighting drill. But the way it works is, you're gonna have a guy in the corner, and that's how it's gonna start, is a 1-on-1. As soon as I say go, you're allowed to move out of the corner into any of these spots, and then the next player fills into the corner. So it's gonna mainly it's gonna be a 2-on-2, with one person always in the corner, pushing his snake player up the field. As soon as one of the two guys dies, if the snake guy dies, it's his job to fill in here as quickly as possible, and then the next player jumps in, right? So you have a line of guys kind of waiting to fill the corner, right? So as soon as the snake is vacant, meaning that the guy is dead, the guy has to get out of the corner so he can fill a second body in there, so you're playing 2 on whatever it is over there, 2-on-2, right? So you're constantly getting in there, so there's gonna be this constant reminder of, say I'm in here and I have my teammate behind me, and I'm just sitting here, and we're just shooting. We shot the one guy out in front, and we're just sitting here shooting at the corner guy. My guy behind me is gonna go, hey, let's fucking go, man. Like, let's get down the field and win this game, right? He's gonna remind me that there's an objective that we have to get, and that's to touch the other team's side of the field, right? Or he's gonna say, hey, we shot the snake, or the corner's dead. So anytime the corner guy dies, that guy just walks off and another body will just fill into it, right? So there's always gotta be a guy in the corner, and there's always gotta be a guy hopefully filling into the snake. But obviously you're gonna be able to like slow the corner guy down from moving, and that's this player's opportunity to make a quick move, right? And then obviously when you guys are close to each other, the 50 and the snake one right here, you know, if you win the gun battle against that guy, you're gonna want to zip into the snake as quickly as possible to get that point. And as soon as you touch here, it'll be game over. We'll set back up, line back up, and we'll run it again. The biggest takeaway, aside from just the gunfighting that we did struggle with, and I'm gonna touch on that in a second, was and then this is what I guess like my team that I coach at home struggles with quite a bit, is that coordination between the guy in back to explain to remind the player in front what they have to do. In my opinion, or my mentality is, I want my front guys, I want Tyler and Arturo and Blake and all my guys that are in Mikey to go down the field and shoot everybody so I can fucking just cruise on in to the finals, right? I want everybody else to do the heavy lifting. That's the best part, right? Make somebody else do all the hard work so you get to go in there and like Marcelo and fucking touch the buzzer in overtime. Guy shot fucking one guy, you know, the whole fucking tournament, and he just fucking skates in, shooting guys out of the back of the fucking thing, doesn't leave the fucking back center can, right? Like, that's what you want to do. Get the guys around you to do all the heavy lifting, and when you need to, you can do it. So with that mentality, you want to constantly be projecting that onto the guys in front of you, or the guys around you. Like, hey, let's go. Like, what do you need to get down the field? Let me help you, right? And then your teammate's gonna be like, oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. This is what I need to do. So you just need to kind of keep boosting your teammates like that. And again, and 10, I might sit 3 of them. So I've got 7 chances to play that Dorito side. I'm not gonna give 2 of my chances up to screw up over here and then not be comfortable in the tournament when I go over there. So you use these types of days right now to hone all of your skills because, again, this is straight up just gunfighting. I see a little W over on the Dorito side right now, which one of you guys played, deflated already.
I'm not gonna point any names.
not my recommendation, but again, you're gonna be, no matter where you are on the field, even if you play the back center, the field is going to be getting smaller for you, whether you're on the winning side and you have to close the game, or if the bad guys are in your snake, you become that front guy, and you have to be good at gunfighting. And this is where I ran into a roadblock with the team that I coach a lot. Is we're losing mid games.
Cause we're aiming high. I can't wait to leave this town. I can't wait to leave this town. 'Cause baby, I've been feeling down.
Oh shit, I've never played that spot, I don't want to go there. That should not, because I'm uncomfortable and I'm not, like, I've never really played it. That should not stop you guys from, roadblock you guys from winning a tournament, right? So you have to, again, you have to put yourselves into these positions. You guys have to start doing these types of drills every time you go to a practice, right? Whether it's, all right, and we're gonna do another one that's similar to this on this field again later in the day, that's gonna force you guys into positions that you're not really comfortable with, and you have to do it. Otherwise, you guys are gonna get to World Cup and you're gonna be like, oh shit, and you're not, next thing you know, you lost the tournament because you're trying to shoot some guy one-handed laying on your belly with your legs in the air, all right? And again, the other reason is, what if someone comes to practice and they're better at the spot than you are, okay? Like, I used to play the Doritos a lot, but Tyler's fucking better than me. So, Tyler gets that job. I play wherever I can, and I play a lot of different spots because sometimes I'm better than the guy next to me. And that's how I get to play more often than not. So if someone comes in and they're better than me, I better find a spot that I'm good at, and it better be better than the next guy next to me, okay? So that's why you can't be one-dimensional with that small tank. That's why you can't be one-dimensional with never being able to dive. There's all these little variances that go to your game that you gotta be comfortable with. And then the best thing to do, always think about this. You feel like I'm overwhelmed, just take a deep breath. All right, and this drill was a perfect example of that from the first time to the second time. A lot of you guys got in there, and I could see you're just holding your gun was way more, you felt more comfortable. And all it was just understanding your scenario and understanding your surroundings and what the overall objective of the game plan is. Again, I can play this thing, and I know there's not gonna be anybody over in that tower shooting in the back of the head, so I don't need to lay down. Now that might change when we go and play full field stuff. You might need to be a lot tighter in here, but at least now you have the understanding of when I come out on the tape to go gun battle somebody, I'm gonna be a lot more accurate. And that was easily proven and easily shown just on this last drill. You guys were snapping guys out and it wasn't accidental, right? Some of you guys, I know, where are you? You shot somebody fucking one-handed crawling, like that was tight, but I don't know if that was like your forte. I don't know if that's what you're known for. Having a hand close to and or on the trigger, ready to go, ready to defend yourself. Never doing this, never holding, like, you're sitting in the snake like this. You know, I'm fucking in the 50 snake in a drill where the objective is for the other guy to come bunker you. You're holding your gun like this. Like, all right, this is, okay, am I good? Like, what the fuck are you doing, man?
The camera
like, get always right here. You're struggling with it because you're diving like you're gonna smash your head in the pool. So you don't want to dive up and out. You want to dive across, right? And then, so your dive was fine. You just dove with your hands down like this, which, with a paintball gun in your hand, means that you're just smashing your gun across the beautiful gun across the turf or the dirt or the mud or whatever you're diving in. That's why you want to have these arms up. You keep this barrel tip up as much as possible. So when you guys come into this, and again, it's when gravity takes over. So I take this one step and I'm coming and gravity's right about to take over here, and I explode forward and I point this barrel tip up as far as possible, and I just let this tank kind of slide on the ground, and I'm safe, right? I'm not scooping any shit up off the ground. Again, Jeff, you guys were in that at the combine.
Yeah.
That was a big factor that really inhibited people from shooting accurate shots is because they would slide in like this and their barrel would scoop up a ton of the paint and all that shit, and you come up to try to shoot a guy across the field, you guys hold back, and the first 2 balls just collect all that shit in your barrel and you miss those shots. That's why you want to keep that barrel tipped up. So there you go. Definitely got a little bit of pop. Let me see it. This is the one. That's just the one. There you go. That was all right. The slide again. I'm gonna get more distance out of it because I take this step and then I. Oh, okay. See how like I'm exploding forward and like I took 1 step, right? You're kind of coming down and you're going like. Hey Jeff. Because that leads me to believe that when we go to a tournament and we have a game plan, that you guys are not following that game plan. Because if I'm saying, go to the 50 snake, there's only 3 of you guys, you just got to get here and you win the game, and you got to stop the other team, and not a single one of you guys are really letting that, like following any of those instructions. We're looking that way, we're not going this way, we're doing all these other things. Then if I have a game plan, I'm like, all right, go here, do this, shoot here, put this guy in, get him into the snake, there's no chance. Right? Not all 5 of you guys are following that. And that's really important. And with that being said, a lot of the communication, it's on you guys to make sure that we're all on the same page. Before, during, after, right? This worked because of this. This did not work because of this. Or I felt that I was not being helped.
Kill one! Let me, Serena one! Serena one! No, say the word! Taco! Purple! Say a word! Bing! Viper! Taco, Purple, Colorado, ASAP! These two! The flaming... Tell me what they had this! Big man!
We had one point in time, it was snake 50 and I think you were in the 50 right here. This is what I was talking to you guys, right?
Yeah, and we were.
Yeah.
I was right here.
Yeah, you were in the wedge, and you were kind of worried about like I didn't want to get bunkered, and he was sitting here, and it was a 2-on-1. All you guys needed to do was simply say each other's names and be like, hey, look inside. I've got you. And that's the whole point of this drill, is to realize how fucking scary it is when you get into the snake, or when you get into that 50 right there, or any of these spots, and you're like, all you guys are worried about at this point though, unfortunately, is yourself. I know you guys are like, I hope my buddy doesn't get bunkered, but you don't give a shit about him. You just don't want to get bunkered. That's what I'm seeing out of it. You guys are just thinking, I hope I don't get bunkered. And the easiest way to fucking alleviate that, especially when there's a guy here and a guy at this wedge, is just to look over at him and go, hey, watch over me. Right? Whoever it is. Chris, or Jeff, watch over me. Or Chris, I got you. It's just that little bit of confidence that you give to your teammate that'll allow them to go, oh, thank fucking God. Because at the end of that, and we have calls for this again. We're gonna go over an extensive kind of code this. So don't be selfish in this. Choose your gunfights wisely. Remember you asked me this earlier. It was like, how do I know when to choose the right gunfights? In this one, if you're the 3 guys, whatever's gonna keep you alive the longest. So you alive is more important than the other guy dead 9 times out of 10. Now, with the exception of course, if there's a guy in the 50 snake and I'm in the snake too, I'm gonna go bunker that guy and I'll trade out with him. That's a good trade out. But other than that, like, don't throw your body away doing something stupid in this and just trying to win a gunfight coast to coast or something like that. If someone's putting you in, tuck in and just watch over your other team. Because if I'm in this fucking big brick, or if I'm in this temple or whatever, and my guy's in this can, and I see him looking down the tape and he gets fucking shot and then I get bunkered, I'm gonna be fucking mad at him. Because he was being selfish. There's no point. I've got you, you got me, let's just fucking stay alive. And you guys are gonna see a lot of these are gonna come down to the wire. It's gonna come back down to like the last 10 seconds or the 15 seconds. So the 3 guys are either gonna die in the first 10 or 20 seconds battling stupidly and then go, shit. Or at the last 10 or 15 seconds, they're gonna get greedy and be like, oh, trying to battle too much. It's always gonna end up like that. If you guys just play smart, stay alive, and let the other guys really dig you out, then it's gonna work out in your favor more times than not. So 90 seconds. Does anybody have any questions? So a lot of this stuff that we're talking about and a lot of the objectives especially that I'm giving you, you guys gotta soak those things in immediately. As soon as if I